diamond made the beat and I'm gon' kill it.
I got years in this shit. Boy.
Tally Red, you always stay lit.
Hey, I've been out here in the streets all day. I used to get it in them hallways. I'm so glad I got my money up. I'm so glad I got my money up.
DJ Screwella in the building, 89.9 KMOJ.
Yeah. DJ Screwella, what's up?
Tonight, man, I got a special guest in the studio with me. I got the world infamous, Houston's own, Minnesota's transplanted, part of the Screw family, the one and only DJ Screwella in the building. What's up, lady?
What's up with it?
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm highly blessed and favored. I'm glad that you came in tonight, man. I appreciate you coming through.
Already.
Double OG Radio, man. It means a lot to me, man. What's going on with you? So you got the name DJ Screwella, and immediately when you hear Screwella, you think of the one and only DJ Screw.
That's what I was going for.
So let me ask you this right off the top. Where did you get your name from? How did you come up with that?
Well, I decided that at the age of 42, I was going to start DJing.
Okay.
I've been a nurse for 15 years, and music was my first love, and DJ Screw mentored me back in the day. And you can take me out of Houston, but you can't take the H-Town out of the girl.
I heard that.
And all I ever wanted to do was spin screwed up click music. And one day, someone brought me a mixer and said, "This is what you're meant to do. You're going to do it." I did it. I racked my brain, all kinds of funky names. Then I was like, DJ Screwella, perfect ode to my culture. So that's how I did it. I got some shows, and then I got the blessing.
So talk about that. What's the blessing? What you get the blessing? What's that?
A couple months ago, Lil Flip came to town, and it was right after I did my first show.
Mm-hmm.
And I had spun some classics and some new songs of his that he didn't even like. Like when I saw him and I talked to him and I told him what I just did like last week, and I said what I spun, he looked at me and he was like, "What is DJ Screwella, you say?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, he looks at me, he gives me a look. I thought he was gonna be like, "Nah, man, you need to take that out. We can't do that." Right. And then he just dapped me up, gave me a hug, and was like, he's like, "Yeah, you can do that."
Yeah. DJ Screwella, what's up?
Okay.
So, and then, he's one of the last few, like 2-3 original SUC members left.
Right.
So there's not many people that can give you a blessing, and it was a bold move because...
Especially with the name like that, you know what I'm saying, in that family. Yeah, if you get it from Flip, you got it from one of the OGs.
Exactly, and nobody else has ever used his name, but out of, they won't let you.
Right. So that's a big plug, man. You doing your thing, man. So I want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
Right now, we got the one and only DJ Screwella in the building. What's going on, Miss Lady?
What's going on?
Slow motion in the ocean. I tell people all the time, I'm chilling like a villain on penicillin. I'm worth about $1 billion, but I got $1 million on my way to a train, you feel me? That's all I'm doing tonight. All right, man. H-Town, St. Paul, Minneapolis. We got it all in the building, man. You done been everywhere, man. You done been DJing right now for Big Wiz. Where else can they find you? What else can they see you doing out here in these streets?
I just did actually, it's old, but a couple weeks ago I did a thing with Navarro for the awareness of the opiate epidemic in the Black community.
Okay.
Because I lost who was like a brother, basically my brother, to a fentanyl overdose less than a year ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
So that was important to me. I'm looking into doing more community outreach stuff like that. So if anybody listening wants me to help or needs a DJ, they can reach out, because I'm trying to get into more community-based things, and like with the autism and stuff. Okay. So but I just 2 days ago got picked up by Boom Beats Media, DJ Boom.
Okay.
He wanted to collaborate with me and have me doing gigs with him, so there'll be some upcoming works with him.
Congratulations.
And yesterday we did a photo shoot for a promo for Villian Liquor.
Okay.
Me, Wiz, and Boom did that. So I'm
working.
Yeah.
You got a lot going on.
I'm making some moves out here.
We were talking off air about autism and autism awareness. And I just want to say on air to anybody that's struggling with as being a parent of somebody with autism, everybody, I don't know if you know, but if you don't know, now you know I'm a parent of somebody with autism. I'm an autism dad. I'm a super autism dad because I love my son to death. I spent all last week on Q-Bear show, right? So I was covering for Q-Bear all last week. And I shouted my son, Prince Patrick, out like 13 times, man. They was irritated. They went, listen, stop talking about your kids on the radio. But I'm like, I love my kids, man. So we just had that in common. Me and DJ Screwella, we both love children with autism, man. And we just want to give an encouraging word to anybody out there that's a parent of somebody with autism to keep going, man. It's hard. It's hard, but you can do it.
Lots of patience and kindness to yourself and them.
Patience and kindness, that's right. All right, man, we got DJ Screwella in the building. Make sure you follow her online at DJ Screwella. Right before the break, man, she was telling us about this story she got with Prince, right?
I have a couple of stories.
All right, let's hear a Prince story. We love Prince here at 89.9.
When I was little, my uncle Steve, I only had one uncle on my dad's side and one on my mom's, but I only had one uncle on my dad's, and he was he worked for Prince. He did I guess managed groups, R&B groups. He managed Mint Condition, and he was really good friends with a guy named Chris Stokely.
Okay.
He used to take me in the studios, but he used to take me to Prince's house. And when he would go to work because I'd come spend some time with him on summers. I was up north. Yeah. And I would always call Prince the guy with the funny shoes and clothes. But every time I came in, I think he really must have liked kids, because as soon as I came in, he'd just get all frantic. He'd be like, all the housekeepers and the workers, he'd be like, hey, can someone get this little girl something? And I was always this little girl. Right. Can someone get this little girl something to drink? I think she's hungry. She looks hungry. Would somebody do something with this little girl? Help her. And he's running around all frantic, all speed running in the shoes and the bell bottoms. And I never really understood who he was till later, but I just used to think he was the funny eccentric man with the pants.
That's crazy.
And then I used to sit in my uncle had a booth like this, and it would overlook when Prince owned Glam Slam. There's a club downtown. Okay. And it would be like this, and my uncle had his very own VIP room. And sometimes he'd even take me to the club, and I remember I was so little, 6, 7, 8. But I'd like to look over the thing and watch the club. That's dope. So I think I was meant, to do this. Music was always.
Yeah, music seemed like it's always been a part of your life, man. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, big stars kicking it with Prince. Boy, he made you some pancakes and everything.
Well, he paid someone too.
That's crazy. Prince made you some pancakes. He put the syrup on their plate and everything. He wasn't waiting for the maids, and he was like, I need it right now. You actually spent time with DJ Screw when you were younger, is that right?
Yeah, way, way back, 7th, 8th, 9th grade-ish.
Okay. Tell us about that.
I'd always wander down he used to sell his tapes out the trunks of his car at certain places, and then he would sell them out of his house. And I remember one time the line to sell them out of his house was around the block 3 times. Dang. And the feds actually think he was selling dope, and they would watch his house and harass people. And I mean, they was always trying to toss him up. And one time I got so pissed off about the line, so I just aborted it and walked away. And then he came out the back door of his house, and he saw me, and he's like, can I help you? I was like, I was trying to get screw tape. I was like, everybody got only candy apple and silver and only rolling red, and I can't get nothing. So he actually just gave them to me and told me, come back he told me what time it ain't busy. Right. So I came back, and I used to go to his shop on Cullen and see him there. And, not long before he died, he had sent me a letter that I still have addressed to me. And it's got it was every single screw tape he had. Oh. And it's still addressed from Screwed Up Records to me, up north. So yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. So you actually built a real relationship with this man. Yeah, that's dope. Well, who else do you know in the game? You got a story about Big Pokey? Let's hear that.
I had set up that Pokey got into dogs. He loved breeding pit bulls.
Okay.
And I have a beautiful red nose who is all brown. All she has right here for any marking is white here, and it's like the star for like the Dallas Stars or the Astros. So Pokey was like, since I'm coming down, why don't I bring my dog and my kids, because I was bringing them all. And he's like, we'll breed her. If we can breed her, and he's like, if we could duplicate this, we could have Texas 5-star pits. He's like, we can make a lot of money off of this. So I pile my pit bull in the car, and I pile the kids, and we go. And it's Father's Day. We stop in Kansas City to try some barbecue for Father's Day on the way there. Everything's going good. I get in the car after barbecue, and then my phone just starts going off, and he's driving, and it's probably about 9 o'clock at night, 10, 11. I don't know what time anymore. But my phone is going off, and they're like, you know, like people want to ask me, what do I think? How do I feel? Like, what's going on? Is that true? Whatever. And I'm like, what? So then someone sends me a link, and I look, and I watch it, and we call him so many names, but I think my favorite, Podina. I call him Podina. Podina up there rapping, and then he just literally dropped dead.
Stop playing with him, Big Pokey.
Oh, my boy Pokey.
Is she all right?
Hands up, man. Hey, Big Pokey on the hands up, man.
Oh, well.
Hey, she's a nurse. She's a nurse.
She a nurse.
Like the literal definition of drop dead. And when I realized that, oh my God, I was stuck in that car with him. We were halfway to Houston, and I was inconsolable. You couldn't console me for anything. I felt so bad for the kids and the dog and him, because I mean, I'm just losing it, because Pokey was such a great person, and like he was such a talent, and like what he did for the city and the screw culture, and he had the biggest heart. And I mean, I'd be famous right now if Pokey was still alive. I'd be really big, because he would have definitely like really fucked with what I'm doing and put me to the front. So, you know, yeah, that just really did it for me. By the time we got to Houston, I didn't want to be there anymore. Right. And I'd rented this beautiful 3-story in the 5th Ward. I called it Travis Scott Airbnb. They had all kinds of like Travis Scott Astroworld like covers and stuff all over the ceilings. I mean, it had it was a beautiful place, but I couldn't even enjoy it. And as soon as we hit Houston, we don't go to Airbnb. We don't do nothing. I tell him, screw shop. I'll go straight to the screw shop. We went straight in, went to the screw shop. You know, everybody was sad, of course. But yeah, as we were there, you couldn't go nowhere without Pokey this, Pokey that. Every bank, every school you look at, there's R.I.P. Pokey, SUC, big, you know, legend, Big Pokey. And it was a really tough trip. And I think that also helps me with my DJing. Because, like, Pokey's so slept on for y'all. Like, back home, he's not.
Right.
But the rest of the world, y'all sleeping on him.
Right.
So I love to spin Pokey more than just sitting sideways. I mean, that one really crushed me.
Well, let me ask you your opinion about the Twin Cities hip hop scene. So what's your opinion about Minnesota and Twin Cities hip hop?
I feel like I'm gonna make a lot of enemies here.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, and it's not personal. I just want to say that off top.
Okay.
I once saw this meme. And it was like the Q*bert boxes, you know, it looked like the Q*bert stairs, but only going up. You know, like how Q*bert used to look, like the stairs that you jump up. And it was like, one side it said Minnesota rappers, and one side said Atlanta rappers. And there's like a bunch of like Atlanta rappers trying to go up the stairs, and some are falling off the sides and slipping down, and they're all like reaching out to help each other and pull each other up. Then the same thing on the Minnesota side, except they're throwing each other off, stomping on their hands, kicking them off. Right. And I'm like, and honestly, like, it stuck with me because what I've seen, and, you know, maybe there's more going on, but in, like like Big Wiz and T. LaShawn and, you know, that part of Minnesota hip hop, they're very united. But I also see another part that's not. You know, like I see a lot of trash talking and I see a lot of crabs in the bucket, and that drives me nuts. I don't even understand what's with the crabs in the bucket mentality. And I see a lot of like trying to hold each other back, or I can't tell you how many posts I see on Facebook and people I see out there doing shows, and their mentality is, well, if I'm not going to make it, I'm not going to let them make it. Like I see a lot of in certain circles, like an inability to work together for a common goal, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's just kind of how I feel. Yeah. And I feel it, like, I just think it's really kind of just, I wish they could have more unity. I wish these cultures of hip hop in Minneapolis could like intertwine. I think that would be beautiful to intertwine. Like, you know, you've got the more urban, you know, hood rapping and, you know, urban stuff. And then you've got the stuff like what Big Wiz and T. LaShawn and Atmosphere do. And there isn't an in-between. But I think it would be really beautiful if we could see them all come together.
I'm not going to ask you the Twin City version, Minneapolis versus St. Paul. But I'm going to ask you 5 more questions. This is my famous 5 questions. It might be 5 questions, it might not. I'll just say famous 5 questions. So, first question. Subway or Quiznos?
Quiznos.
Quiznos. That was easy.
Oh, that bread and that peppercorn sauce with the beef and the, yeah.
Okay.
I like spicy food, so.
All right, let me ask you this. Would you do Pizza Hut or Domino's? What type of person is you?
I just did this last week with him, and he's pissed off still. What I want to do is Pizza Hut for the breadsticks, Domino's for the pizza and the wings. Oh. And I do it because there's that one down on, I think it's Hennepin.
Okay.
Kind of by like the shelters, and it's like one parking lot. It's got like Pizza Hut and Domino's together in the same parking lot. Wow. So I do that. I do Pizza Hut breadsticks and Domino's.
All right. Let me ask you this one. Would you rather be walking in the rain or walk in the snow?
Boy, rain.
Okay.
I hate it. I hate the snow.
I hate the snow. Let me ask you
Unless you fall in this snow all the time.
Whew. And I'm too big to fall, bro. If I fall, I ain't getting up. It's a wrap. I'm going to just be there for a while. Give me a couple minutes. Yeah, give me a couple minutes. Let me ask you this. She interrupted that joke. Halloween or the 4th of July? What holiday would you like? Halloween or the 4th of July?
Well, I love the 4th of July because every 4th of July I'm out there across the street with Uncle Ron lighting off fireworks all day. Okay. I mean, so I love 4th of July because, you know, I like the fireworks, and I think I like the season better. Because there's been some times here that it's been Halloween and there's been snow on the ground.
Yes, a lot of times.
And I wasn't feeling that.
A lot of times. Okay. Let me ask you this then. Christmas or Thanksgiving? Which one?
Oh, is there neither option?
Neither?
No, they both make me really depressed because I don't have any family. So, like, the holidays where people tend to get together in the winter, especially because everything's closed and you can't really, like, yeah. So, I kind of don't like either, but I think that if I had to pick one, it'd be Thanksgiving because there's certain, like, foods that come out around that time.
Let me ask you this. As a married woman, when do you get better gifts from your husband? On your birthday or on Valentine's Day?
I don't get any gifts because he doesn't remember, and when I remind him, he's just so like busy and like, you know, whatever. But I would say now it's Valentine's Day, hands down, and that's because we're on 3 straight years. Next year will be 4. I make him take me to Miami for Valentine's Day. I book it that 3 days, and we have Valentine's Day on South Beach.
Yeah.
Now this last year before, not the one we just had, I finally got my bucket list, one of it completed. I got him to let me pay the $300 to swim with the dolphins, touch the dolphins, kiss the dolphins in the ocean. Yeah. So that Valentine's Day was lit.
That's dope. That's dope.
And then this one we just had, Gordon Ramsay opened up a Hell's Kitchen in Miami just within the last year and a half.
Okay.
And I got reservations for Valentine's Day for their, like, I had to get them like half a year in advance.
Damn.
And I had this thing set up. My thing is grand gesture. And I do big surprises for him. Like, every favorite rapper he's ever had, I've gotten to introduce him to, made friends with him, and we get on stage when they come here.
Gee.
So I like to do grand gestures. So when we got all the way to Valentine's Day, dinner on Valentine's Day at Hell's Kitchen, they were expecting us, and they came out and they thanked him for being such a great husband and father, and they gave us a free dessert, and they took some very beautiful pictures of us.
Oh.
So I definitely say Valentine's Day.
Yeah. So let's just say the police are going to arrest you or your husband, and the judge is going to give you a sentence, and it says you got to go to jail for 3 months, or we're going to send your husband to jail for 3 years. Are you going to jail for 3 months, or are you sending your husband to jail for 3 years?
Well, that's easy. I'm going to jail for 3 months.
That's what I'm talking about. That's a ride or die.
I mean, there's a code here. Just like snitching. If they come and they want you to say something, and the worst they can do is put you in jail for 30 days if you don't talk. I'm on the same thing with that. I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna sit in that county for my 30 days. I'm gonna have my receipt, and I'm gonna be like, you know what?
Right.
You ain't finna touch me,
Right.
because here's my receipt. I didn't say
Send
shit.
Send me to my room. Let me get my
Exactly.
zooms and whams, man.
Same thing. I'll do 3 months easily,
Yeah,
because
that's easy.
yeah.
89.9 KMOJ. Today's R&B, hip hop, and throwback. This is the People Station. My name is the Original Dollar. Original with an A, dollar with no R at the end. Original with an A, dollar with no R at the end. Make sure you follow me online, Instagram, Facebook, the whole nine. The Original Dollar. Make sure you follow KMOJ as well. KMOJ Radio on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. 89.9 KMOJ. 612-377-3456. That's the number to know to get involved with yourself. Hit my line, Joe. Make sure you let the phone ring more than 3 times, man. Y'all be hanging up too quick tonight. I done seen it ring twice. Y'all be hanging up too quick. I got the one and only in the building, the infamous, the world famous, friend to a friend to a friend. We got DJ Screwella in the building. What's going on, DJ?
What's up? What's going on?
Man, slow motion in the ocean. Man, I appreciate you kicking it with me tonight, man. I had fun. We did a super dope interview, man. I appreciate you coming through. It was a lot of fun, man. But before you go, you got to put us up on game. We was talking about this a little bit earlier. But you got a story about Big Pokey. And if y'all don't know who Big Pokey is, we just heard Sitting Sideways. That's the dude that's rapping with Paul Wall. But he got a lot more hits than that. But like you were saying, you know, in the South, he's pretty big. You know, up in the Midwest, he may not be too big. But, you know, first of all, I want to say rest in peace. But yeah, tell us a Big Pokey story, man. Tell us how he affected you and, you know, and the influence that he's had on your career.
Well, he's like a brother. I mean, he was really cool, and he's very supportive and just coolest, most down to earth man you could meet. I mean, the man was worth a few million and still lived in his hood and never left.
Oh.
And so, I mean, you know, that's the kind of person he is. But my story is, back in my day, when I was watching this Screwed Up Clique come up and, you know, they were gaining their notoriety, there became a really bad beef in Houston between as we say, the North and the South. And it got so bad you could tell North Siders because they had braids and fros, and you could tell South Siders they had waves and fades. They'd wear certain clothing, drive certain color candy cars, and, you know, whatever. But it was being fueled by the Swisher House, Michael 5000 watts and screw thing. And I mean, it got really nasty. It got to the point that there was a certain SUC member who was pretty famous. I won't name, not Flip. And, you know, he was actually riding around looking for Michael Watts, and he was going to really roll the guy. I mean, it was getting nasty. And you couldn't be on the South Side listening to Swisher House. You'd be gone. You couldn't take Screw over to the North Side and listen to it either. Like, they was legit killing each other over what you're listening to on what side. So, I mean, it was a horrible beef between Swisher House, North Side, South Side, Screwed Up Clique. And when Pokey decided to do Sitting Sideways with Paul Wall, because Paul Wall was not only a white boy, which was unheard of in Houston rap, but he was with Swisher House in the North Side, he kind of like squashed that beef. Then after that, you started to see like ESG and Slim Thug made an album together. And you started to see them collaborating with Paul Wall, and you'd see some of the North Siders, like the Swisher House and the Screwed Up Clique, and you'd see them kind of doing some songs together. So, you know, that's like something really big that Pokey did. None of the other Screwed Up Clique members did that yet. So it really like squashed that beef. And
That's crazy.
there's a big turning point for Houston once you're able to get them to like.
So we didn't know hip hop was real down there, man. And I didn't know that song squashed the whole war between the North Side and the South Side. That's crazy. Yeah, in Minnesota, we never had, St. Paul we did. Okay, anyway. All right, man, we got DJ Screwella in the building. She dropped a game on us, man, letting us know about Big Pokey. Before we get up out of here, I want to ask you a question that I ask everybody. If you can go back in time and talk to your 18-year-old self and give your 18-year-old self a piece of advice, what would you tell your 18-year-old self right now?
I would have been a better wife. I would have been a better mother in that time. I would have went to school earlier, and I would have probably told myself to deny myself some of my instant gratification, because in the long run, it's not going to be good. So I think I would have just told myself to do those things better.
Just be better, a little bit more disciplined.
Yeah.
That's some good advice, man. If you're out there, youngsters, listen. Just be good, be disciplined. Don't think about today. You got to think about the long term sometimes, man. This is Double OG Radio. We got DJ Screwella in a bit, and let them know where to find you at online.
Right now, currently, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. Just plug in DJ Screwella, SCREWELLA, and you'll find me.
DJ Screwella, man, I appreciate you coming through.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Tally ride.
John Dummy made the beat and I'm gon' kill it.
I got years in this shit. Boy.
Tally Red, you always stay lit.
Hey, I've been out here in the streets all day. I used to get it in them hallways. I'm so glad I got my money up. I'm so glad I got my money up. I've been out here in the streets all day. I used to get it in them hallways. I'm so glad I got my money up. I'm so glad I got my money up.